Hello everyone and welcome back. Let's talk about use cases of generative AI in another industry area, which is marketing. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about marketing is because it is one of those industries that are earliest adopters of Gen AI. In a recent market study, 51% of respondents confirmed that they are already using Gen AI for their marketing work. And remember, this number is from September 2023. So within 5 or 6 months or so of ChatGPT burst, more than half of the industry and content creators are already using it. It is there, it is being used, it is making a difference, helping humans, driving business, and bringing better content for the end user. So let's take a look of what all is possible using generative AI in marketing. First is content creation, obviously, and think about what a great match it is. We need content for marketing, whether it is ad text, image, blogs, articles, social media post, all of this is content. And who can generate great content? Our friend generative AI. So it is a perfect combination. And that's why, as I said in the recent survey, most of the respondents said that they are using generative AI already to create contents faster, create contents with great variety. And the way of working is not like generative AI is doing everything here. No, it is helping humans to generate idea, suggest combinations, and then humans are further expanding on those thoughts. So same thing that we saw in the software development video also. It's not like generative AI is doing all the work here and that is being consumed directly. It is sort of a peer, it is sort of a companion that's helping out humans, and of course humans are involved in the chain to further expand on those thoughts. Then personalization is another area where generative AI is being used a lot. So personalized ads, personalized recommendation, understanding the user's need, LLMs are helping in all of that, right? And all of this, including creation of posts, creation of social media articles, creation of emails, creation of personalized content, all of this is helping in better content creation, serving you relevant content, and it is increasing audience engagement, right? People would get more hooked to the ads, and that would of course result in better sales. Then second category we have is search engine optimization or SEO. Again, this is not a new area. There is tons of work that has already happened there. There are tools, there are softwares, there are AI systems, all of it is being used already, but generative AI can take it to the next level. The expertise of generative AI LLMs in natural language understanding, it can help it to generate better content that appeals to the end user, and it also includes suitable keywords for search engines to rank the content higher, and also suggest keywords for ad tagging. So all of this can help improve your search ranking, drive more traffic, increase online visibility. All of this will of course result in better sales. Then next aspect we have is market research. So again, one of those areas where decisions have to be made more data oriented, right? You cannot just assume something out of your mind and do it. You need to go with the data. You need to see what is the trend coming in from the market, what is the trend coming in from the customer, those sort of things. And all of this data can be fed into an LLM model, and you can get personalized insights, reports, opportunities, all of these things, right? And now you are able to understand the market needs, you understand the opportunities, you can create different ad campaigns, you can target different segments, you can go more from social media marketing to say email marketing, right? And all of this would help you connect better with your audience, target the audience, get better returns on your investment. So if I go to ChatGPT and let's try it out, and what I'm gonna tell it is something like this. So you are a social media content creator. I'm launching a new scented candle on Instagram. I'm telling it that my customer segment is home decor lovers, yoga studios, restaurants. Can you give me a 3-liner for each of these segments that I can post on social media? And I'm also running a special 10% off, so add that into the messaging. So I'm telling it very clearly that, okay, what you need, what is my product, what is the segment that I am trying to connect to, right? And I am telling it that there is a discount also going on, so can you go ahead and include that also into your message? So as you can see, it has started churning out that content, right? And it is telling you those contents basis of the category that you want, right? So for example, I told it that my customer segment is these three category of people. I'm talking about home decor lovers, yoga studios, restaurants. Those are the customers that I want to target on, right? Those are the customers that should relate to my ads. So give me content around that, right? So as you can see, it is telling for home decor lovers that okay, you can do these things, right? It is also telling you that okay, shop now and enjoy 10% for the next 3 days, like we asked it to do here. It is also suggesting you some tags right now. Remember, like always, this is suggestion, right? So maybe this is not a trendy tag, you want to go in with a different tag, so you can do those kind of things, right? But again, this is something very good out of the box to use on, right? For yoga, as you can see, it talks about enhance your asanas and those sort of things. For restaurant, it says create a memorable dining experience, right? So it's telling you content exactly the way that you wanted it, right? And of course, you can further tweak on it, improve on it, but this is good to go, right? And we can further tweak on it also, right? So let's suppose I do not like this and I am just gonna tell it that okay, can you add content that talks more about how scented candles will help in each of these categories, right? I mean, what you told me is great, right? But I want to put more content around the benefits to the customer, right? I mean, what the customer gets by buying these products, right? So again, it is acknowledging the fact, right? It is saying that okay, it is going to churn out a even more refined version of it, right? So again, as you can see, it has gone into the same cadence. It is telling me based on the categories, right? And it's gonna include these finer details also that I tell in it here, right? So it is, for example, if you can see, it's telling here, they infuse your space with an inviting aroma that warmly welcomes all you enter, right? So this is something like a benefit, right? The customer knows that okay, how does it help me, right? Here also it is saying harmonize the yoga flow, enhancing focus, deepening relaxation, right? So I asked it to include some benefits in there and it included those benefits, right? So again, point being that we can get the initial response, we can take a look at it, we can ask GPT to make any changes that we need, right? And by doing this, right, you can go ahead and make this even better or use it like the way it is here, right? And the reason I'm touching upon these points, right, and again marketing in general, is because see, this is one industry that requires lot of creativity. You need creative people to think of ads, you need creative people to design them, present it to the correct audience, all of that, right? And this is something that humans are best at, right? We need humans to focus on strategy, we need humans to focus on creativity, and behind the scenes generative AI can do all this redundant, effort heavy content creation task, right? And you have to actually think about humans and generative AI as a team. You can tell LLM what your strategy is, what kind of a direction you want, and it can quickly give out these blog posts, social media updates, ad copies, all of those things, and it saves you time, right? Marketing is one area where we have to be on our edge always. Newer content has to come out frequently, social media has to be updated multiple times in a day, the content has to be SEO friendly, so there is lot of ask, and that is why it is best to divide and conquer. Let humans do the strategy part, creativity part, and leave out these redundant effort heavy things to Gen AI, right? So it's a distributed effort and you can achieve much more working in tandem. And in fact, this is true all over the world. Whichever industry, whichever skill set, whichever domain you are working on, try to think of ideas where generative AI can fasten your work and you can start using it, right? Think of it like a buddy, a companion sitting right next to you, whom you ask that, okay, what should I add for making my content more better, right? How we can add content that says, okay, how does scented candle help in each of these categories, right? So you, in a typical today's world, you ask these questions to the friend sitting next to you, your colleague sitting next to you, right? Your co-worker, right? But here you can ask those questions to ChatGPT and both of you can pitch in and say that, okay, let's ask ChatGPT in a different way. Let's put in this content, right? So you are working with this tool, right? I mean, this is a utility that can further enhance your work, help you get better content, right? So I mean, again, I would repeat the same thing, but what I want you to understand is that whichever industry or skill set or domain you are in, right, you should start embracing generative AI into your work. Right, of course there are constraints with the data sharing rules in your organization, so do not skip that, keep that in mind. Right, but think about humans plus generative AI as a team combination. Right, if you are a tester who is writing test cases, use generative AI to think of scenarios. If you are a marketing guy trying to create ads, think of generative AI to generate the initial content. Right, so start embracing this technology. I mean, all of the industries, this technology is going to stay, this technology is going to create lot of impact. Right, so start interacting with it, start using it as your buddy, and then you can get the initial content, further refine it, and maybe, you never know, it thinks of things that you cannot think about. Right, it can give you some great ideas, suggestion, because it has been trained on so much content. Right, so start using these things. Right, start moving into this generative world where you can use this to reduce effort, reduce duplicate work. Right? So I'll end this video with this thought. Let's move on. Let's check out another